Hi, thanks for joining this call, this webinar. My name is Alf Markussen. I'm with ahamastery.com. I'm here today to help you get your first member in your mastermind group. I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm here to learn just as much as you are in many ways, even though I've been doing this for 25 plus years, because now I want to share this gift or this special message that I feel I have, that everyone needs to use the power of the mastermind to elevate yourself to the next level. So my goal today, my single most important goal, is for you to start your own mastermind and get your first member. This is my promise to you, and but I'm here also to learn from you, so that any comments, any suggestions, any viewpoints, anything I haven't covered, should cover, or might want to cover, let me know. Comment below, send me an email to ahamastery@gmail.com, or even directly to me, alfmarkussen@gmail.com, ALFMARCUSSEN as in Nancy @gmail.com. I'm so much appreciating you are here. I'm really honored to have you here, and I'm going to do my best to help you with this this goal, because I want you to also be able to tap into what I've been so fortunate to tap into. Okay, thank you so much for coming. And this is my little intro to this, so stay put. Here we go. I'm waiting for. My goal is to get you the first member on your mastermind team. Obviously, I'm not going to pick your clothes. I'm not going to pick the member for you per se, because you have to pick somebody that fits the bill for you, meaning this person is the kind of person that you would want in your mastermind. A little story first, because I've started many masterminds, and two different formats you can use. You could probably do more, but you could pick a mastermind focus, meaning when I started in 2012 selling on Amazon together with my wife, we flew to Austin, Texas, to be part of a 3-day seminar where we all going to learn how to sell on Amazon, physical products or whatever products on Amazon. And I said to my wife, when we go there, our number one goal will be to build a mastermind group. And I already had the experience of building many mastermind groups before, some successful, some not successful. And of course, that's what I'm going to share with you too. What works, what doesn't work. Don't do this, but do this. This works. So in those 3 days, we never sat together. We sat in different places in watching the seminar and taking notes. And we, for the goal of meeting as many people as we could. And one of the main criteria is we're looking for people that were as motivated as we were. We were going to do it full time. They were likable. They seemed friendly and approachable. They seemed knowledgeable, and with some experience from before, not necessarily on Amazon, but in general with business. That was one of the criteria we're looking for. And then we collected their phone numbers, and on day 3, we told them, meet us to the right of the stage when everything is over. And we met then 5 other people, and we formed a mastermind group just like that. And what happened, this is in 2012 in May, I believe, we, to this very date, we are now in 2024, every Monday for an hour and a half, we meet to collaborate. How do we make our Amazon business better? What are we struggling with? What is our goal? How do we do this? How do we do that? And we're learning SEO from each other, learning how to set up websites, how to advertise on Amazon, how to advertise on Google, how to set up our own websites, how to build our teams, goals we're setting, all of these things. So that was one mastermind that was focused towards a specific goal. So we knew exactly what type of person we were looking for. The other mastermind group was a group that I founded in 2004, and it's still also alive. And we're all doing different things. We are entrepreneurs, but one is in real estate, one is in interior design, one is in coaching and selling courses. I'm selling courses. Another one sells T-shirts and mugs and PODs product, print-on-demand products. Another one is doing consulting and in the bar business. So we're doing different things. And of course, we can collaborate and share all kinds of different things that we're working on. So you need to start thinking about, okay, what is the mastermind group that you want to build? What is the focus going to be? And that's a little bit what I'm going to go through with you now. I'm going to talk you through how you what do you call it? Set the framework up to attract the right person. And here's a little story. When in the 2004, what do you call it? Mastermind that I helped build together with my friend Jeff. We were in a J. Abraham seminar down in Los Angeles, and J. Abraham, one of the foremost marketers in the world, if you ask me, very high level people were there. Jeff and I were talking about starting a mastermind, and so the story I'm going to tell you is that you want to have an open mind as to who you want to attract into your group, because when you attract a person into your group, you do not want to think that these other people are better than you or smarter than you, so to speak. You want to shoot for the moon, or shoot for the stars and reach to the moon, right? So here's a classic example, and it's a mistake that I made, but I'll share it with you. So Jeff and I was talking. We saw this guy sitting up front. He's senior to us by a few years, and I'm not going to mention his name, but we said, "God, we should ask him." Jeff said. I said, "Oh my Jeff, this guy is miles ahead of. Why would he want to join our mastermind? He's way smarter than us." And Jeff looked at me. He's like, "What are you saying, Alf? I mean, I got experience in this. You got experience in this. We have things to contribute. All of us come from different walks of life and different things we've done, different contexts, different viewpoints, different cultures, different upbringing, different education." So, and I'm so glad he caught me on it, because he became a member after a while. But it took a little doing for us, because we invited him in as a guest to sit in, and he shared about us, and we talked about different things. So that's kind of, I wanted to keep that frame of mind very clear, because when you start picking the first members, they could be with you for 20, 24, 25, 30 years. Look at us. This is 2004, 20 years for that group. So anyway, now we're going to go through the next slide that I have here. So what it comes down to is that, what is it that you are here for? What is it that makes you want to build a mastermind group? And it's important that it is something that's really, really important for you. It's something that you really have a burning desire for, like Napoleon Hill says. So for me in 2012, it was starting a business that we could take online and take with us anywhere in the world we wanted to be. And we were lucky to hit on Amazon as the subject at that time, because it's been a great ride, and we're still doing Amazon. And the other group, I was doing something called RipCard. So that was my business then, and it switched. And that might be a question you have too. Your subject might switch as you go along, as things pan out or don't pan out. So you want to think in those terms too. It's like, okay, do I want to be in a mastermind where we also have the opportunity to switch businesses, which also could happen for some of the other members and has happened. So, but you need to focus on something at the moment, right now, you are hell-bent on that's going to succeed for you, because the mastermind principle will 10x your progress and your, what do you call it, success, big time. It's the biggest thing that I'm taking with me from the US, having lived there for a little over 30 years, to be quite honest with you. So what is the reason for you starting the mastermind? You need to start writing that down. If I know some of you are in the car, some of you are packing, you may want to take a pen and paper and just jot down one thing. If you can do that right now, just write down, if you have one burning desire, the best if you only have one. If you have 2 or 3 you're considering, we can narrow it down as we go along here. But if you ideally can write down one, do that right now, okay? So okay. I'm gonna take 1 minute, and I'll be quiet and just write down one thing, and you can say yes when you're done. So I'll just be quiet right now. Maybe we'll put some music on there. So here we go. 1 minute started.
I don't hear any music, Alf.
Okay, I was whistling. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So write down one thing. I know you're in the car, Thomas. So, but have you thought of one thing that possibly could be your?
Well, yeah. I discussed with you last time I talked to you. I got 2 things basically in my mind right now.
Okay. Good. Good. So you want, yeah, and then you feel free to share it if it's unless it's too personal. But yeah, you're totally welcome to. Okay. All right. So we're coming up on a minute now. So okay. So I'm going to start talking. Idako, I assume you've written something down as well, or at least thought of it. Yeah. So it's great. Great. Yeah. Perfect. So now you want to start thinking about, okay, what type of person would not only you benefit from having in your mastermind, but what's in it for them? And I've actually been reading a book by Joe Polish, and he has a book called What's in It for Them. Because when you sell things, which we are kind of technically going to do, we're going to sell ourselves to somebody else. But why would they want to join you? The only reason they would join me is that they're going to say, what's in it for me? Meaning they would say that. So what's in it for them? We need to think about the other person, not us first. It's about them. So what do you have to offer that's want to make them want to join you? And we're going to build on that more than you can believe, because it's so important. So that's really, we got to think about, okay, what's so unique about us and what we're starting that's want to make them want to join us for an hour and a half, 1 day a week. And that's literally the intensity of the mastermind. It needs to have momentum. And I'm not going to go into the details of that, but this is probably the number one reason why a mastermind don't function for a long time, because you don't have the right intensity. You need to have momentum. And Einstein talks about that. Nothing happens, something moves. You got to move, and you got to be constantly living in it, right? So this is something that, so for us, was life-changing for us to hit on Amazon, and we're so grateful that they did it. So think about just that. So therefore, it's so you need to think about what's unique about you and what's easy for them. Make it easy for them to say yes, to see the benefit of you and them getting into a mastermind together. So the first action steps here is to, like I said, identify your burning desire, your most pressing goal that you would do anything to accomplish. So you need to write that down, and that's I'm kind of repeating that. So, and I've told you the stories about Amazon and Jay Abraham and how we started those. So I'm going to flip to the next chart. So the next action step, which is called action step number 2, where could you find these candidates? Where can you find the best candidates? So for us, it was a shoe-in for the Amazon mastermind, because 2,000 other people would be there. So if you can put yourself in a situation where you can find like-minded people that, let's say, focused on one thing, maybe that's you're going to be an SEO expert, or maybe you want to run for governor. Maybe that's a bad example. Or maybe you want to start your first online store on Shopify. Find other people that are doing the same thing. And ideally, you also don't want to compete against each other. Now, I'm not going to get into this too much, but the Amazon market mastermind could easily be competition. Guess what? None of us know what all of us are selling. None of us know the other person's product in the group, believe it or not, even after 12 years there. Okay, it's quite amazing. But so that opens us up to more freely share things, and that's how we dealt with that. So ideally, you don't want to compete directly with each other, and we make sure we don't. So this is let's see now. This is the okay. So you want to, where do you find these people? So for us, it was typical there. For in the J. Abraham group, I knew there would be a ton of other entrepreneurs, and that's what we were looking for. So you may want to write out, once you identify what it is that you want to do, it may even depend a little bit on who you talk to as well. So you can, it may not exactly be niche focused like you wanted to. Let's say you're selling on Amazon, but you end up meeting all kinds of other people that are selling on Etsy or other platforms. So you could totally collaborate with them too, or other people that have other business experience. So write down like a purpose statement, something that you feel that could identify and kind of put an imprint of what it is that you want to, focus on. All right. So let's see. Now, what qualities do you look for in your first person? So we all are attracted to certain people sometimes. Like, for instance, if I have a friend that's extremely flaky, says one thing, do another, that's tough one to be in even a friendship with me, because if somebody says they're going to be there at a certain time and they're like showing up 1 hour late or 2 hours late, I would not be patient with that. That's just how I am personally. So what characteristics are important to you? Another one is, what's the background? If you're in business and you want to do certain things to succeed as a business person, you probably want to know that this person has had some relevant business experience before and a certain success, right? So that might be important. Are they driven? Are they engaged and involved? Are they positive? And do they like to help? Are they resourceful? Are they connected? And also, confidentiality. Is that a person that you can trust with confident information? Those are the kind of characters and qualities that you look for in a person, and you can add to the list here, of course. Now, here's a little, actually a very important step of this whole process. Now, and I call it, what's cool about you? And I know, Idako, you've done this exercise before. And I have the document here as well. It's linked to right in here. I will see. Basically, all you need is a piece of paper right now. I could show you what I've done before, and I'm not sure exactly what happens when I click on this. Maybe I can click on it and see what happens. Let's see here now. There we go. Idako, can I ask you if you see this one? Can you see this page? What's cool about you? Aha, Master, can you see that text?
I see the action steps 3, and then what's cool about you? Yeah, the exercise.
No. It's a white page. It's not the color one we had. It says, "Aha, Mastery. What's cool about you?" You don't see that one?
No.
Okay. That's good to know. Let me stop. I will stop presenting, and I will start again. What's cool about you? And now you should see it. Do you see it now? What's cool about you?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Good. And I know you and we've done this before, but I'm going to help the people that haven't done this before. So this is what I call as the core concept of you sharing some information with that person. Why should that person want to join you? And one thing happened that was kind of interesting with the person down with Jeff and me. That was a Jay Abrams course. He didn't. I was very reserved. I was like, why would he want to join us? And that's when Jeff stepped in and said, "Hey, Alf, don't think like that. You have a lot to offer." And one of the things this person actually liked a lot about me that I found out later was that I had been a party promoter for 22 years. This is like, my God, why would I want to talk about that in a business setting? But that tells a lot about me as a person. So organizing events at the levels I did, which, I mean, we rented City Hall, we rented the best hotels in San Francisco, like the Fairmont Hotel, the Regency, the Hilton, the Hyatt. We were all over the place. And that takes a lot of promotion. It takes a lot of organization, negotiations, and all of these things. So I had done that at a pretty high level. And so I wrote that down here, what's cool about me. So I'm going to blow it up a little bit here to help you kind of trigger your mind. What is it that you have done previously that you probably normally wouldn't talk about when you meet somebody right off the bat in a network meeting? But this is much more than a network meeting. So you want to find ways to talk about this in a more natural way. So one of the things that I also could talk about is that I have worked with VA team, virtual assistant teams, for over 15 years. And I've developed apps for the iPhone. I was in the Norwegian Army. I was a dog handler. And I've done all kinds of things that tells me a little bit about my character. I also played sports extremely actively in Norway, soccer from I was 6 till 24. And then when I moved to the US, I also played a game called Footbag or Hacky, and I became number 2 in the world. So those things that tells you a little bit about me and my character. So those are the kind of things I would like you to think of now. What is it that's cool about you that most people wouldn't know after meeting you in a business setting. I want you to kind of share things that are personal for you, shows your character, shows your chutzpah, your stamina, your goal-getting attitude. Maybe you're into health. I was a vegetarian for 25 years. You would have known. That might be interesting too, because I believe there's no wealth without health. And Idaho could probably speak to that in miles past me. And but those are things that are important, and it tells a little bit about who am I getting in bed with, so to speak. Are they going to be around the person that's versatile, open to different things, live different places, know different cultures, and have different connections? Yes, that's important. I mean, even at my parties, I tapped into very high-level business people, believe it or not. Founder of PayPal, founder of Hotmail. And I'm not saying that to brag in any way, shape, or form. There were people that would come to my parties. I was very picky with the groups that I invited into the circle of friends and parties as well. So those are the kind of things that makes a difference. And when they're going to make a decisions like, why do I want to get in bed with this person, so to speak, join his mastermind or her mastermind group? So I think we should, I'll pause it. We can probably, what we can do here, we'll edit it out later. We'll just add in a pause here, put the video on a pause right now. You can look at my list here if it triggers your mind a little bit. And this sheet here, I will give you later. Right now, all you need is to type it down on write it down on a piece of paper, or type it down, but you want to have at least 5 to 10, 15 points about you that is important for you, that you feel that tells something about your character and your personality. So, and you will get a copy of this, like I just said. So let me see now. I'm going to go back to my presentation again. I'm going to stop sharing here, and I'm going to start.
I will work on this until next Tuesday.
yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're on your plane and travel around Idaho, just jot little things down. I have on my phone. I use my note on my iPhone, and I write down things all the time. Or when you work out in the morning, or you meditate on the beach, or it's like, yeah, that's kind of cool about me. Or maybe you meditate every day. That's a great thing to do, because that's when you find your inspiration and everything. So this is such an important tool, because it really gets to put a lot of confidence in you, because many of the people that I tell about the mastermind, like, why would somebody want to join me? This is it. This here, what's cool about you, that I'm allowed to share from Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. It cost me thousands of dollars actually in Idaho, and this is a great tool. And I have many other tools I can share with you as well. Another one is, I think, get awesome at what you're already great at. Something like that. I probably mess up the name, but get better at what you're already really good at. Why focus on what you're not good at? Focus on what you're really good at and take it to another level again. So those are things you want to start writing down, and you build your confidence and realize, hey, you have a lot to offer. We all have a lot to offer. So, and that's how and you want to flip the script too on the person that you're interviewing. Once, or I call it interview, once you start talking and engaging with them, ask him some of these personal questions. What makes you tick? What do you like going out in the forest? Do you pick mushrooms? Or how do you stay healthy? Or what else is going on in your life? So you can totally flip the script and find out key information in this whole interviewing or selecting process, because you are in the driver's seat right here. So, and that's what I want you to realize. It takes one person. And I say that, I can get goosebumps a little bit, because it takes one person to make a difference, and that's you. You can make a difference, and you will make a difference in not only in your life, but in that other person's life as well, by forming a mastermind. They will thank you later for inviting them in. And together, now you're a team, and you go ahead and pick the third person. So you collaborate. There's not one, leader or anything like that per se. Even though one person, and I'm going to say you in the beginning, needs to take charge and say, hey, here's what's going to happen. Let's do this. And then you collaborate with the person number 2, the first person you get in, and you find the third person together, and you find out what criteria you together would like to qualify them by, and where you should find him or her. Okay, so this is really, really cool stuff. Very it sounds simple, but and it is in many ways, but it's super, super important. So let's see. So I have that link to the document, and then I talked about how you flip the switch script on that one. And then now I want you to start thinking about this, because you're asking a person to join you. Join you in what? They probably haven't even heard of a mastermind group before. When I say mastermind to people, many people are like, what is that? And many Americans do know what it is, but tons of people don't know what a mastermind is. So think of it as a think tank, support group, an advisory board, those kind of things that helps you take your passion and drive to the next level and 10x it. I say you easily will 10x it. So the structure, they don't know what it is. So you need to explain, okay, we meet once a week. And you can start, and this is one of the exercises I will have for you too. Start thinking about how you want to meet with that group. Because are you going to make it easy or time consuming for people to show up? If you say, hey, let's meet at this cafe every Monday, then they have to get dressed, they have to drive in the car, they got to find parking, they have to set the time aside, all of that jazz. I am so for online meetings, even though in person are better. But it puts a strain on the time, and people don't have time. However, there's ways to solve those things. Let's say you want to meet in person twice a year, or more often. You can do that. We did that with our when I used to live in the U.S. with the J. Abraham group, I should call him, in 2004. We met for 3-4 days down in South California, where we hung out for all those days and stayed in a hotel and collaborated and shared and had breakfast, lunch, and dinner with each other. So you can fit that into. So you want to start painting a picture. What is this going to be like for this person? Okay, so let's say we meet on Skype or we meet on Zoom. I'm not going to get into those technical details right now. Not that it's a technical issue, but I think it's very important when you meet that you're not multitasking. When you're there for an hour and a half, the most important time is when the other people are talking, not when you're talking. And we go around the table, we have equal times, right? So all of these technical things I'm not going to get into now, but it's important to tell the other person you cannot be baking bread while you're participating in the mastermind. You're focused on the call, who's talking, what they need to do, because you need to take notes, and you're going to very active participation. That is also why I like video calls, so that you can stay focused and make sure the other people are staying focused too. When you get on Skype sometimes and you see people mute themselves out, if they have a lot of noise behind them, they probably should be in a different place when they make these calls, because they're very important, just like you would want them to be very attentive when you talk. So you don't want to scare the person in the beginning, but you want to also say, hey, it's a committed time that we stay focused for each other. Just like we do for you, let's show mutual respect, and that's the way the group will be better. But I also want to say at the same time, don't stress too many details in the beginning, but you want to have a clear picture of which direction it's going to go, and at least propose that to the person, because if it's not for them, you want to find out now, not later, so that you can just go, next, that person wasn't right for me, if they're not able to set that time aside. And participation and absent stuff like that is also a problem sometimes. So, and those are things that we'll deal with in the course. You'll see it in the course. So, and how often are you going to meet? Like we talked about, like an hour, once a week for an hour and a half, but you never want to go over an hour and a half. It's another thing I also talked about. And that comes down to how many people will be in the group. You need to give them an idea. Is this like 100 people or 10 people or 20? No, it's 4 to 6 max. Why? Because then you make the group intimate. It's very personal, and everyone gets a decent amount of time to share what they have and help with problems and stuff like that. So that's very, very important. Now, when it comes to leading the group, very often I've been the one that took the charge, because I need to make things happen. You got to be the glue that keeps everything together. I'm not a leader, but I'm one of those that take responsibility. So we are 6 in our other group for the mastermind, Amazon, and we have 15 minutes each. And I time them. Here's your time. Clock is ticking. Then I go 2 minutes left, and then we don't go over more than a minute, max of 2, because we need to stick to the set time. And then we have another person that records the meeting and transcribes it. We use software for that. So there's and he uploads that right after the meeting. Within minutes we have the recording, because very often things happen fast and we don't have time to take notes sometimes or hear all the details. We can go back again, and it could never ever be shared. So confidentiality is very, very key. Going on to the next slide, which talks about confidentiality. It needs to be, and there's no exception when it comes to confidentiality. It needs to be. If you promise something to keep quiet, it needs to. If you wonder if you could share something, you need to clear it with the group first. Okay. Now, are we going to sit there and just chat and go around the table every week we talk? It won't get boring, because it depends on how active people are on the calls. Myself, I always take notes. Anyone else talks, I have a Google Doc open, and I type down what's going on for them while they're talking and presenting. And then I also write down questions that I want to ask them, but I don't want to interrupt them. So I'm very active, and that could sound like it's boring, but what you can do, there's a lot of things here. You can have a hot seat, meaning, let's say one time you say, okay, let's put one person to deal with their problem. Maybe we might decide on that the week before. So everyone knows that, let's say Idako would be in the hot seat. She's going to bring up a certain problem she is facing. And we will know about that problem a week in advance, and we will prepare questions. She will prepare her 2-minute presentation where she says, here's what's going on, and here's what I'm looking for. What's your advice? And then we would all chip in we go around the table and give her input on the next live call, and she will actually get full value for her money, so to speak. We might invite a guest speaker, somebody that we met that could come in and present, and where we also think about how do we get value for that person. Let's say one person has been at a course and learned something. Maybe they learned something about meditation or SEO, or they read a book. They could do a debrief, and I might give up my time, my 15 minutes, to give one of our other members half an hour or 45 minutes to present what it is that they want to share with us. And reading books. I'm constantly reading books. Now I'm reading a book with Noah Kagan, the founder of AppSumo. I'm sharing a bunch of stuff, what he has taught me that I've learned from his books, with my other mastermind groups. So you want to pick, in these cases, we follow the 80-20 principles. Share the 20% of action items that will give you 80% of the results. Many people focus on the 80% of everything that only give 20% of the results. So that's what we try to focus on. And let's see. So this is a place of learning and sharing, and encouragements and camaraderie, and focused on your burning desire. So let's see. I can pause a little bit to see if there's any questions or anything like that. I can stop the sharing and go into the forum again.
Can you give us an example of the 20/80? How do you, like, if you had a certain scenario, how do you dissect that information? How do you chop? It's kind of human nature to try to take it all in. How do you chop it up? How do you look at the information that you're about to share and chop it into 80-20?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So the 80-20 rules is the books written on it, right? But the principle is quite simple. So let's say I go to a webinar or a seminar, whether it's live or online, doesn't matter. I will take a bunch of notes when I'm there. So what I would do then, I would go through my lists of to-do items, action items, and I would circle, let's say I came up with 10, just to make a simple example, 10 great things that I want to do. I would circle the 2 ones that will give me the fastest results and the biggest impact. But I would, and it depends on your strategy a little bit, you could say, okay, I believe that if we can get something happen for us right away, it gives us instant gratification, and we'll be more motivated to go after the next steps. So you don't want to take on something that makes you wait for days and weeks or months to happen. You want to pick the 20% of that 10 item list that you have and go after them and execute on them right away. So that would be a simple example. If I read a book, I will take down notes of things I can do, something I'm learning, and I would take the 20% of that. Maybe it's out of 20 items, so I take 4 things, right? Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah. But that's a good question. Idako, I know you jumped away from the camera. I don't know if you had any other questions. Let us know. Oh, you read it. There you go. Yeah.
I'm here. So my question would be, why only 4 to 6 people?
Yeah. First, the answer to that is it keeps it very personal, intimate, and you have time to go around the room, and you get 15 minutes each, and it sticks to an hour and a half. If those calls gets to be 2 hours, I see people like, oh my God, it's way too much time. So I'm very strict when I'm a timekeeper. I cut people off. I give them the 2-minute warning, and I'm saying, hey, your time's up. Or
okay.
Yeah. So that's why, and you want to keep it intimate, and you really get to know each other personally. We deal with many more things than just our business, Yeah, health, wealth.
Yeah, and then every week, you said it's right, 1.5 hours. For how long?
An hour and a half. So 1.5 hours every week, right? Yeah.
And for how long? Like 3 months, 2 months?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, the Amazon is for 12 years already. The other one is over 20 years.
Okay.
You could set a time period. You could say, hey, let's do this for 6 months and see what happens. Or let's do it for 3 months and let's see what happens. You can put that. That's a good idea, because people don't want to overcommit,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. But
another question, Alf, on that same line. When you're in a mastermind group for so long, and you have 6 people, say, and about a year into it, a year and a half, 2 of the people leave.
Yeah.
And say, and now there's only 4.
Yeah.
So do the 4 people seek out 2 new people to keep the same dynamic, or do you guys just go, okay, our mastermind group is now 4 instead of 6?
You could decide to do that. We don't pick suddenly 2. We would, as a group, as a collective, we would say, okay, anyone in the room has somebody that could suggest that would be a good asset to the group? Do we need somebody that's good on SEO? Are we missing somebody that's really good on design? Or are we missing somebody that's really good at going after goals, or have access to influencers, or what have you, So I would say the 4 of you would pick one. And sometimes you can just sit at 4 for maybe a couple of months and see how that goes. However, I see that if you start going into 3 and 2, you don't have enough momentum and viewpoints in. So you want to build it up to a minimum of 4, and then don't go over 6. So I don't know if that's yeah.
Perfect.
It's a good question. Cool. Anything else, Idako? Anything you have?
Yeah, so because I'm thinking to switch, to the mastermind with my group. So I scheduled it for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like I have seven modules plus 2 weeks, like 14 weeks.
Okay. You want to build it around a course you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I love it. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But you add value then. You add massive value for these people because they can collaborate more together, you see?
And then if somebody would stay longer, they can have an upsell and stay longer in the mastermind. Yeah.
I haven't done it that way before, but that's a smart idea. And you add massive value. You can say, if you want to be in a mastermind, that's an upsell for you. Where you yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah. So shall I continue on with the what do you call it? The slides. I'll just go to the slide again. 1 second. Any other question, Thomas, before I switch over to the screen?
No, I'm all good. Thank you very much.
One thing I don't want you to be afraid of when you start something like this is that the work doesn't have to fall on you at all. You can, and if you don't feel like being the timekeeper like I am, or being the one recording or doing something else, you can delegate those things. That could be passed on to some of the others. So don't let that scare you. But it's good to be the initiator to get things happen, and that's what this is all about. This thing here is for somebody that wants to take initiative. If you don't have the ability to talk to so many people, the first recruit you should get somebody that has that personality that can go and help you find these people, and you can tag along. So you don't let that scare you. So action step number 4, I would like you to now make a short list of 3 people you know. Ideally, they're not a close friend. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that, because you don't want to have a personal friend or a family member in your mastermind, because that pulls you with you other things that you don't need in a mastermind. And but I would like you to think about 1 to 3 people that you admire for their insights, for their success, for something that not only can help you again, but in this case, that actually could help you. Let's say it as it is. Could help you, and you have already heard how I talk about what's in it for them. So think about somebody that you really look up to, and it's like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I had access to that person, and wouldn't it be cool if I could help him or her with certain things that you see you have skills in. So you can pause the video again right now if you're not seeing it live. But I would ideally like you to write down 3 people. I know, Idako, you're looking at it in a different way right now. But if you want to have your own mastermind as well of course leaders or people that are working with groups, you may, and actually this is Thomas, we can introduce her to Scott, that's taking all kinds of men on retreats and doing different things. I forget exactly the courses Idako is building right now, but you probably want to be in mastermind for. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I created already my course, and the next step would be to have retreats with the patients. Next step would be to have retreats with the patients.
Okay, and that our friend Scott is, I'm not trying to pair you up with him per se as a mastermind potential, but he is a very close friend of Thomas and me. He's a Fritz brother. If you heard me talk about the Fritz brothers, that's another story. But he's in Florida as well, I believe. And so anyway.
He spends a lot of time in Florida, but he's actually based out of Austin, Texas.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Where are you, Thomas?
Today I'm in San Jose.
California.
I'm at a stage of my life. I'm becoming a bit of a nomad. So as far as like when Alf was talking about choosing subjects to build the mastermind group around, I'm kind of like up in the air right now. So I have to kind of hold off and decide what I'm going to be doing because I'm on the move a lot. Okay.
It's a good state to be.
I love it. I love being a nomad.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking also for you, like I said, I'd go away. It's you might want to benefit from being with other people that are doing retreats in another mastermind on yours. So I was recently in 3 total. Now I'm only in 2. So there's no problem to be more, because you want to put fire under where it is that you're going, So so you may want to think about some people, and maybe introductions can be made as well, like you see inside here, and that's always a resource. So let's see now. Both of you and the potential will qualify each other. Okay, understand what's important to their goals. Yeah, so you want to understand what their goals are and dreams and burning desires, as we talked about. So identifying opportunities for mutual benefits. So you want to, let's see, I'm reading a little bit of the notes here. I haven't, I don't know this presentation inside out yet. So you want to find out if someone in your network can help them to achieve their objectives. So Mark at another friend of mine was looking for some high-level investors, and then I happened to have access to some. and that was actually one of the PayPal founders that I introduced him directly to, but they weren't investing in that space at that point. So you want to think through who you can connect people with, just like you heard the three of us doing here right now. So the more we know about each other and details and what type of retreats and this and that, I don't look at that as competition, even if they may be in the same space. It could be an asset, and they could help each other a lot. So I look at it that way. So it's a win-win situation. Also, everyone has unique skills and talents. So that's why what's cool about you want to kind of dig into what it is that they've done before, what they like, what really makes them tick, and the talents they have. You'd be so surprised sometimes when you get to know somebody. And that's why 4 to 6, like you mentioned earlier, Idako, the members. I mean, we talk about not just business. I mean, if some of us are struggling with health, I remember one of our members, his sister was going through some serious stuff. I don't want to say anything personal, but some of our members in the mastermind group offered to help her start an Amazon account so she could become resourceful. I mean, he also knew that, but I mean, to start an Amazon account is not easy. So we offered to help his sister. So those are the kind of I mean, we know more things about each other in the mastermind. Sometimes we do our partner, our life partner, and which is kind of crazy. So which is great too, in many ways, because we're really sharing a lot of personal stuff. So you know, you need to be willing to help and show that you're curious about people, and give more than you receive. That's really one of the mottos of the mastermind as well. And that I could go into another book too. Sean Achor, Achor. It's called The Happiness Factor is one. One book is called Before Happiness. He talks about how groups function and who gets this is just one of the things he talks about. He talks about how the person that helps the most is actually the one that gets the most out of the group, because that person becomes the giver. It attracts not only positive things. I know I'm talking to two very spiritual people here as well. And you just create that energy about you. And if you haven't read the book Before Happiness, it's an amazing book. It's a bestseller. It's been on Oprah Winfrey, Soul Sunday as well. A fantastic guy. And you can YouTube him and also see his TED Talk. Sean Achor, Achor. So a shout out to him. It's a great book. So you want to, and once you start studying groups and how they function, and all of that, it's intriguing to see how you can position yourself in a very good way, and those dynamics happen in a mastermind. So you want to find people that have a drive and motivation, and you want to seek out members with strong drive to achieve their goals. You want to go after them. So you want to, in your screening of these people, you really want to find the right ones. And in your instance, Idako, maybe not everyone in that what do you call it, in that retreat are the right ones for each other. Sometimes personalities clash. So I don't know if there's a way for you to what do you call it, I wouldn't say, not monitor, that's not the right word, that's not even what I'm looking for, like guide them along to find the right thing. So maybe they themselves can build something, but you can facilitate certain things with tools that we have. What's cool about you, and get awesome at what you're already great at. And 7 levels deep. Now I'm talking another document I'm also allowed to share, where you really find out your why. Why are you at this retreat? What's the real reason? And you go 7 levels deep to find out the true why. And very often we don't know it ourselves. But once you start digging into the true why, that is when you hit the core. And once you hit that core truth, nothing will stop you to go after what it is that you want. And that's why it's a a really important thing to do as well. And that's beyond what we're doing here right now, but it's if you can get to that when you talk to that first member that you want to be part of your mastermind, if you can figure out what really makes them tick and what they will go over hell and high water, they will and if you can help them achieve that, that's you hit the jackpot. Let's see now. Balancing a careful selection with taking action. Okay, so you need to, again, reading a little bit here, carefully qualify your first member. It's crucial for a strong start, but I can kind of contradict what I'm saying here a little bit as well. You want to get started. If you don't pick the let's say you find out that it wasn't the right member, at least you got started, and at least you probably got the third person by that time, maybe even the fourth person. And if it's not working out for somebody, you just figure it out, and sometimes people move on. We've had a few switched outs from our mastermind. I'm talking more about that in my course, so I'm not going to bother you with that here, but sometimes we actually had to ask somebody to leave because they weren't following up, they weren't engaged with questions that they got. And even though this one person that was in our group was making the most money of all of us, he was doing over $27 million a year on Amazon. So anyways, those things happen sometimes, and we just wish them well, but you just say, hey, it's not a good match for us. So so you want to avoid overanalyzing too much in the beginning, even though I'm still saying you want to try to narrow it down, because you want to shoot for somebody that has a level of experience, so to speak, of that could help you take yourself to the next level, and you the same for him or her. So because they could be with you for a long time, just like our person down at the J. Abraham, he's still with us, and we're so glad we went after him, and he's very happy he's with us. I kind of skipped a little bit as to where we find these members. I didn't do that on purpose. I just remember now. So one of the tasks that I wanted to do for the next time is, if you can, go to some live meetings where you meet people in person, attend live webinars where you think your target person number one could be. Go to Facebook groups and see who would be in there. I would say Reddit is another group. Quora is another group. Of course, LinkedIn. And see how you can get in front of some of these people. Can you get on a video call with them? Can you have a little chat with them and say, hey, I'm brainstorming some ideas. Would you like to chat with me? I see you're working on this, that, and the other. I happen to have some insights into this industry. Would you like to, and you can say, I'm not trying to sell you. I'll promise you I'll never try to sell you anything. And the masterminds are also free. I don't know, at least the ones that I'm organizing. None of us are paying any fees. Some people are paying over $100,000, $250,000 a year to be a member of the very, very high-end mastermind groups with Tony Robbins. But now you're talking even many more people, and it doesn't become that intimate like I wanted to do.